Hello and welcome back to another exciting day of e-learning. Yay! No? Okay. Well, I tried. So anyway, yesterday you should have finished the peppered moths activity, updated your notebooks, your input and output pages. The correct page numbers are reflected right here. The incorrect page numbers are here. These are old. So your notebook should not be page 100 to 101. It should be pages 88 and 89. So just to keep that in mind, if you haven't submitted it yet, please make sure that you do that in the classwork Dropbox that I posted the day that I assigned this assignment. I will be grading it. It will show up in Infinite Campus. If you don't do it, then you don't get the points. So please make sure that you do submit that so that it does not hurt your grade in any way. For today, we are starting a new activity. So we are going to be doing Bye-Bye Birdy, and that should only take one day, but I am going to have it due Monday. So Monday, I will be moving on and doing something different. So you'll have today and the weekend to work on it. Sorry about that. But before you do that, I'm going to have you just tell me how you're doing. I just want to check in on you and make sure that everything is okay. So make sure that you do that Google form that I'm going to post here in a second. And without further ado, let's look at Bye-Bye Birdy really quick. So what we've looked at so far is we've looked at adaptations, we've looked at how the environment affects adaptations, and what's going to increase an organism's fitness. What we haven't looked at yet is what happens when populations get separated. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be investigating that. So if you open up the Bye-Bye Birdy document, which I will post under the classwork tab, I just haven't done it yet. If you click on it, it should take you to a link that looks like this. And what you're going to do is you're just going to work through this and you're going to pick the characteristics that you want each bird to have. So you could make it like green. I'll make mine medium large and I'll just give it that beak. Great. So that is my first bird. So after you do that, under bird number 1, list the traits. So I have green, medium, large, and what was that beak called? Just say medium curve, medium long. Great. Great. And then for bird number 2, you're going to do the same thing. So if you go to next bird, I'll do that small, with a small beak. And my next bird, I'll make yellow, medium size, and we'll do that beak. Great. So here you can choose, maybe not yet. So your environment is what was on the side there. And if you look, it's going to walk you through what's happening here. So in the Southwest, your birds will find seeds and edible insects for food, no predators, and light green foliage. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be investigating the bird populations over time. So if you hit close, you can continue doing this. So after 50,000 years, you're going to take note what happened to the bird populations. Also, what mutations did the birds inherit? That's going to be really important because remember, our environments, our organisms have to adapt. And if they don't adapt, well, you guessed it, they're probably not going to make it. So over time, if you just keep hitting resume, oh, went extinct. Poor green bird. And as we work through this, take note as to what's happening here. So I'm just going to keep going. And there's been mutations along the way. So their body size is now larger. And their population keeps going up. Now their beak is more curved. Well, take note as to what's happening based on the environment that we have. Why do you think this is happening? And then eventually you will reach a point where you're at 500,000 years. So you'll need to go back over here, right? So it says, read the description of your island. On the following pages in the space below, list the environmental conditions. So the environmental conditions are going to be these things on the side here. You should have seen that in the beginning, but they are over here if you do need them. And then based on the description of the environment, predict which variations will be adaptations. So before you run through all of this, pick which bird you think or you predict would have the adaptations best suited for the environment over here. Obviously, based on our results, the poor green bird did not last very long. It looks like the second bird here is the winner. So after 500,000 years, okay, you're going to need to, as you work through this, take note of the mutations that are happening over time. So with bird number 1, what mutations did it or did it not have that didn't help it? And same thing with bird 2 and bird 3. So as you read, you might want to have maybe a piece of scratch paper available and be writing down what mutations occurred that maybe caused this bird to go extinct while these two still survived, especially this one. What happened with this bird that caused it to have such a boom in its population over maybe the third one? Okay. So after 500,000 years have passed, click continue. Describe the final phenotypes which are now present in the population in the table below. If a phenotype has gone extinct, put an X and record the year it went extinct in. So if I hit continue, okay, here's the original birds, and here's how they changed over time. It's kind of crazy. And it looks like a hurricane. Yep, a hurricane hit the island, and some birds have gone to new areas because of that. So each area is going to have a unique environment. So what you're going to do is now you get to pick. So you can say, hey, there's plenty of seeds, and there's some nectar, but there's no insects, no predators, and I'm going to have, no, let's not do orange. This is not community, Miss Primo. There we go. So you only have a certain number of points, so you can only select several or a couple different things. So I've used all of my food points here, so I can't add insects or predators. So maybe I'll change that. How about I do some seeds and some predators? Great. So now we're in the northeast environment. So if I click continue, now we can compare the different environments to each other. So the southeast, northwest, and northeast are going to look different than one another. And these are the birds that we're starting with, okay? So again, come back over here, and before you start, please make sure that you read through everything on this document, because you are going to have to answer questions as you work through this, and I don't want you to have to keep going back and having to redo the activity because you did not answer the questions. So what you're going to need to do is at the end of 500,000 years, which variations were adaptations in this environment? So before you do move on, please make sure that you answer this question. Make sure that you don't move forward. And then here, since we're looking at all of the different locations, you are going to fill in the tables based on this. So this part is part B. So part A was back before this. Part B is going to be where you're comparing all of the different environments. So again, read through this sheet before you actually start the simulation, and come back to this video as you work through this. It should not take you super long, but please make sure that you're only spending a maximum of 45 minutes on my class per day. If you don't finish this today, it's not going to be due until the end of the day Monday, but I will be moving on Monday, so keep that in mind. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please, please, please let me know. If you finish this, you will need to update your notebooks. That is what I have posted here. So if you're wondering why I drew random birds, if you work ahead on my Google Slides presentation, that's with question 5. So this is what I started with. This is what I ended with. That's why there's a big X through it. And then I will also post the output page for you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. And again, thank you for being so responsible and really taking initiative in your learning. Until next time, talk to you Monday. Bye.